Ever find yourself responding to emails on your phone while at meetings, or rushing into a meeting while on the phone wrapping up another important call, or working on a set of parameters and suddenly you remember about a deadline? Those are all the examples of multitasking. Hello, all, good evening, and welcome to your learning capsule. Today, I'm going to share some important tips on how to effectively multitask. First of all, let us discuss what is multitasking. To break it down in simple words, multitasking is what we do when we deal with more than one task at the same time. So it is important, however, not to sacrifice effectiveness for efficiency. Doing something quickly for the sake of getting things done is not multitasking. That's why multitasking needs to be done correctly. Nowadays, we are increasingly being called upon to handle varied responsibilities. But not everyone is born multitasker. According to experts, multitasking is not about working harder, but working smarter. Let me share some important tips with you today on mastering workplace multitasking. You'll never have to make that mistake again. So, a couple of things. First, important aspect is you plan ahead. So don't wait until you are in the middle of the first task to decide what else you want to accomplish. A great place to start is with a to-do list. Give yourself a period of time to perform these tasks and don't overload yourself with too many at a time. 2 or 3 tasks in a 2 or 3 hours time slot can ensure that you're giving yourself enough time to work on each task and give it the attention it deserves. Second most important thing is combine similar tasks to work on at the same time. Multitasking in and of itself is a complicated process. Many believe it can't be done, but in order to master effective multitasking, it's vital that the tasks you're working on have the similar thread. If your mind is going to be jumping around from task to task, it's necessary that the tasks have something in common, as your short-term memory can only handle so much. Whether they are all a part of the same project or they all involve the same process, keeping the task you're working on similar will make it much easier to complete them effectively and efficiently. Third, eliminate distractions. Distractions are your enemies. Distractions can be detrimental even when you're working on the simplest of tasks. So, when trying to juggle multiple projects at once, they could spell disaster. This might mean keeping the door to your office closed while working on in the office around you. Distractions can be anything like gossiping co-workers, colleagues, phone calls, and the smell of the pizza being reheated in the kitchen. Turn off your cell phone, move into a quiet place. Maybe you want to listen to music to increase focus. Whatever your technique, dedicate yourself to these tasks and these tasks alone. Especially after a few hours of work, your mind will want to wander. That's why it's key to make sure that there is nothing that's going to make it easier for you to drift. Multitasking demands all of your attention and then some. It takes dedication and commitment. The last and the final thing is take time to review your work. When all is said and done and the projects you've set out to work on have been completed, it is important that you take the time to pay attention to specific details and review all that you've done. This might seem counterproductive or even a waste of time, but the review process is the most important process when working on any project or task, especially when you're multitasking. This is the step that might end up taking the most of the time, as you must make sure that the work done is excellent. Check what your original assignment was and make sure the final product ticks off all the boxes. Not all people are born multitasker in the same way. So not all people multitask in the same way, as one human brain isn't the same as another human brain. But it's important that you follow these steps for complete control. There's a reason many psychologists say that they don't believe in the idea of multitasking, but that doesn't mean it's not possible when you had the proper practice and are dedicated to completing these tasks to the best of your abilities. In today's society, multitasking is the skill that's working well, and if practiced and done correctly, we can be sure to increase productivity. But it's vital that you pay attention at the step of the process. Plan, prepare, and review to keep yourself accountable and your focus strong. People try and fail to multitask all the time, but if you can master these skills, you can prove yourself a valuable asset no team can live without. I hope I was able to explain and share some insightful knowledge on multitasking. Thank you for listening and have a good evening.